Okay, you guys, clap. Well, that was so synchronous.
I wrote the play in response to violence in America. The play began for me right after the Newtown shootings in 2012. I was in the Washington, D.C. Science Museum when I heard the news, and I was processing and in shock and in grief and observing the Science Museum workers and also the exhibits kind of all simultaneously. And I started to get curious about the relationship between violence, spirituality, and science. Another violent act happened in our country, and then another, and then abroad another, and then home and abroad and home and abroad. And the play really just began to write itself.
It centers around a group of employees at a science museum in DC and following their day-to-day lives as they struggle with dating and relationships with their parents and relationships with each other. It's a quirky work dramedy, and then an act of violence occurs, and their lives and the world around them shifts into magical realism and trying to make sense of what's happened in their world.
We really wanted to work on a new play this time, and to have a writer in the room with us was beyond appealing.
We kept coming back to choosing projects that scare us and that incite conversation about what's going on in the world, and this play is scary. I mean, I'm not just saying this, there's also really is a lot of humor in the play.
Humor comes from really just showing the truth of a moment, and allowing yourself to be as committed to the dark moments as much as the light moments. I think you find the humor in the dark moments because you're committed to them.
I think the term impossible play gets thrown around a lot in the theater world, and it applies to Cannibal Galaxy, particularly in regard to the stage directions, such as Eloise explodes with stars,
Jo births herself.
We really want to step up the set design and all of the design. The set design, the lights, the sound, I think is really, really important in this show. We also want to have a projection design.
We want to hire a press representative and really get people in the seats.
I also think that the play demands experimenting and failing, and that requires rehearsal space and time.
Do you want to give us $40,000?
Please?
To do a play that's about violence in America right now is a huge risk and a big undertaking, and so I'm honored that anybody is willing to take that on, but especially a company of women.
I think
the future is female.
It's fierce, and it's also
fierce,
expensive.
and it's Jewish. Female, Jewish, and expensive.